Good morning, London Comic-Con. How's everyone doing this morning? I'm very well, thank you for asking. A lot of the time people don't ask me how I'm doing. That feels nice. My name's Taz from the Taz Show on FM 96. When I heard that this next guest we're going to have a Q&A with here was coming to Comic-Con, I had a smile, a huge smile on my face for a couple days. He's Spawn. Make some noise for Spawn. We got some Spawn fans in the house. You've seen him on Arrow. Here he is. He's Black Dynamite. Michael Jai White is up on stage. Great to meet you, man. I was going to build him up a bit. That's fine. The element of surprise.
Okay.
Welcome to London, Michael.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Black Dynamite, I gotta start with Black Dynamite because it is, who's seen Black Dynamite? It is one of the funniest movies I have ever seen in my life. There's only 2 times where I have had to stop watching a movie because I couldn't breathe, I was laughing so hard. One was The Naked Gun, the first Naked Gun movie with Leslie Nielsen. 2, Black Dynamite. That movie is genius. You are Black Dynamite, but you also wrote that film. And I was reading, you wrote it in 3 weeks?
Yeah, I had the idea in my head for a long time. And so once I sat down to really write it, it kind of went fast. You know, 'cause, I mean, it was just stirring around, you know, for probably about a couple of months.
Yeah. So you had the idea. I understand you would watch 70s blaxploitation films with some friends of yours, with some colleagues, and you'd enjoy poking fun at the inaccuracies and stuff like that. And you made a short film, a short demo trailer for Black Dynamite. Is that how the movie got made?
Yeah, I did a trailer with me implemented into some old 70s stuff, you know, just to get the concept. And so that's what I did, and, you know, went and got the money based off of that.
So in the film too, you used some old movie footage sliced in there.
Yeah.
Now, what I love about Black Dynamite is you put that movie on, like I've tried to play it for friends, they're like, when was this made? Because it genuinely, you see movies that try to look like they take place in the 70s, and you can always kind of tell that they're trying to make it look like it's the 70s. But Black Dynamite, man, you watch that movie, you nailed it. It looks like the 70s. How did you guys accomplish that?
Well, it sounds real technical, but there was a film stock that we used called 16mm color reversal that makes it look just like back then. You know, you can barely get that film stock. You actually have to send to France to get it. You know, I can't even get it in the United States.
Right.
Yeah. So it's so we did that because it's like kind of an outdated type film stock.
So it must have been kind of stressful that if you're shooting on that film stock, you have a limited supply. Like you have to nail your performance.
Well, I mean, we had enough, you know, but it's one of those things where, you know, if you make mistakes, you kind of
put it in the movie. Yeah, that's the joke.
Yeah.
The boom mic comes. That was on purpose. You guys brought the boom mic in on purpose. Yeah. What was your favorite line? I mean, there's kids here, so out of the lines that you could quote from Black Dynamite, what is your favorite line from the film? Because there's so many great ones. The flashback scene, the Vietnam flashback scene, that's where I had to stop it. I was laughing hysterically.
I'd have to say one of my favorite lines wasn't one of my own. There's a guy named Cedric Yarborough. He used to be on Reno 911.
Yes.
He just improv the line that made it into the movie. When I come in and say, we're gonna take down anybody who deals drugs in the neighborhood, in the community, and he said, but I deal drugs in the community.
But Black Dynamite.
Yeah, that was off the cuff, and I almost could not keep a straight face for the rest of the day. But that's got to be my favorite line in the movie.
When did you know? Because when you're working on a movie, like you're so close to it, and you're writing it, you're producing, you got so many things going on, and you're hearing the same jokes over and over, you're doing the same stuff over and over. Did you know when the movie was finished, the first time you sat down and watched it start to finish, that you had something special?
Well, yeah, because I can always put myself in a position of an audience member.
Right.
I never fall in love with my own material. Never.
Yeah.
There are movies I did that, if I didn't think it was that great of a movie, I'll never say, I'll never claim that,
Right.
So I just think, you should be brutally honest. I mean, just in my life, I think honesty is like paramount. So I can tell if something, even if I worked on something, and if it doesn't work, I really can look at it from another perspective.
And the film, we haven't had a sequel yet. I know a lot of people want to see Black Dynamite 2.
Well, that's being talked about right now.
Good.
Interestingly enough, and it looks really good that there may be a Black Dynamite 2.
Are you worried? Because the first one is a classic. It's a classic. Is it tough to follow up a movie like that?
I'm not worried because I know what the second script has.
Yeah.
And with the knowledge of what worked.
Yeah.
In the first movie, of course, this movie is played all over the world. We had a standing ovation in the Czech Republic. We won film festivals in Europe and Italy and all over. So I know the stuff that translates universally.
Right. Isn't it amazing that, it does translate all over the world and people get the jokes?
Yeah, because see, our movies from the 70s went all over the world.
Right.
And so those movies like, Shaft and Superfly, people in Europe watched those movies and that became their barometer for cool. So they remember it.
Yeah, well, a lot of places they didn't have much to watch, so if they saw a movie, that was their movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and people kind of followed suit. There were people who tried to be that way in Istanbul or whatever.
Yeah.
They had to, because back then, those movies accounted for the style and the sexiness, all that whole thing. It was leading the way.
Yeah.
So it meant a lot in my country, and it meant a lot in other countries as well.
What about the animated series? You had a good run with Black Dynamite, the animated series. It's come to an end. Is it finished, or is there a chance we could see more episodes of that?
Well, yeah, we may be going to another place, like possibly another network. It did really well. It's just it happens to be a very expensive cartoon to make.
Why's that?
Because not to sound like I'm bragging, but
it's okay. That's why we're here. We want to hear you brag, Michael. Come on.
But Carl Jones is one of the best animators out there, and his vision for how he wanted to do the animated series was a very lofty one.
Very stylized.
I challenge you. You can look at an episode of Black Dynamite and hit the pause button at any moment, and you have a poster.
Yeah, it's a piece of art.
Yeah, you actually, you absolutely do. And to keep that level is really interesting. People, get used to seeing stuff all the time, cartoons or whatever, but they may not realize the artistry that's gone in there and the level that it is.
And all that's dollars.
Oh yeah, but like almost any frame is a poster, and most people would have backed off a little bit and not tried to make everything so rich.
Right.
But there was a standard that we wanted to keep up.
Well, it's a testament to the source material as well that people had faith in it enough to put that much effort and work into an animated series that would represent Black Dynamite.
Right. Yeah. Or a network did not know how expensive it was really going to be. Yeah. We had like two different Spawn suits, right? There was one that would be like really stiff,
Yeah.
And that's for the close-ups. And then there was one that was really malleable for action.
Yeah.
And so if I'm in the close-up Spawn suit, it's really tight. So if I lifted a gun, it's like it's pushing me down. I can't just do this.
Yeah.
And it looks weird if you're like this because you're straining to keep the gun up.
Yeah, Spawn doesn't strain to shoot a gun.
Yeah. So it's like there were like two suits, but a lot of times I was wearing the stiff suit, and I had to do the action in that stiff suit.
So it was difficult. You're straining just to make simple movements.
Yeah, and plus like say if I'm in the suit, right?
Yeah.
And I can't, if I walk in the suit like this and sat down like this, or pick this up, drank it in the suit, I look like a guy in the suit.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. As Spawn, I'd have to move like this. I'd grab it here, I'd sit like that, you know?
So you look very natural.
Yeah, but like the regular person would get up like this. Spawn can't get up like that. I have to get up like this, you know what I mean? or something like this.
And is there, like, who's the person that is the Spawn movement consultant on the set? Who's doing that? You?
Me, because nobody can tell me how to do that.
Yeah. Because you have the feel for the city. Going to the bathroom. Like, was it tough if you had to go to the bathroom, getting in and out of that thing?
Yeah, because somebody has to get you out of the suit. I have to hang on a bar, and they have to pull the whole suit down. And, they have to pull me out of the suit while I'm hanging.
Yeah.
That was the only way to get me out.
Wow. And so that's like probably like a good hour in and out of the suit would be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour?
No, not that long. Not that long.
But a good 20 minutes. So
yeah.
you're doing all these movements too. You want to stay hydrated, you want to drink a lot, but it's like a catch-22 situation.
Well, a lot of it evaporates out of your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a lot more of me than I planned. And I ended up having to do a lot of my own stunts. Even though the idea was that they figured, you get a stunt guy my size, it'll be easy to double.
Right, just put him in the costume.
No, but they didn't move the same. So it's very easy to look like just a dude in a suit.
Yeah.
I had a certain way of moving that I kind of developed that was
tough to replicate.
Yeah, that was a little different. And I've been blessed to be a big guy that doesn't move like a big guy.
Yeah.
So other guys my size kind of move, kind of like lumbering.
Right.
And so I wound up having to do a lot of the stunts because it just looked different.
And how do they break that news to you? Like, hey, Michael, guess what?
Yeah, I remember one of the first times I thought I was going home, and they wanted to bring me by where a stunt was going, and a guy was running across a beam like 100 feet in the air, and they brought it, they brought me there, and I'm like, why am I here? And they said, okay, just watch this, and they said, action. And then the stunt guy ran across the beam, and then they looked at me and said, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so I had to get up there and try to coach him how to, run like a superhero.
Right.
Then I ultimately, had to do it just to, and then that was the start of me doing a lot of my own.
Were you good with heights at the time?
No.
And are you good with heights now?
Not really, no. But I wanted to get home.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you hear from Mike Tyson, or did you consult with Mike Tyson on that movie, or did you hear from him after about your performance?
I had a brief conversation with him. We have mutual friends, and we had a phone conversation when he was incarcerated at the time that I did the movie.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, no matter what, even if I'm playing him, I gotta play the truth as I see it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, everybody's gonna, even if you ask the source, they're gonna give you a certain version. You know,
yeah, his stories, everyone's got their story of how things went.
Exactly, they're gonna be the most innocent person on the planet. You know, if they tell it. So I mean, it's one of those things where you know you gotta kind of feel your way around and think, try to play the truth of what you see.
Did you get the voice down? Did you watch tapes? Did you have a vocal coach to get the Mike Tyson voice down?
No vocal coach or anything like that. I guess sometimes when like friends of mine would tell me when I would recount stories of something that I would become the person.
Yeah.
And I guess I just thought about how he spoke, and then it just came out that way.
The Dark Knight. Who has seen the movie The Dark Knight? Do you remember Michael Jai White in The Dark Knight? He was in a couple iconic scenes. You played the gangster Gamble, and you got to see the Joker's famous magic trick.
Yep.
The pencil disappearing. Now, was that a sleight of hand thing? Was the pencil there, or was that some sort of special effect when it disappeared?
Well, it's a special effect, but it's like people might know that now. Here's the pencil; it's there. You shoot the pencil,
yeah,
take it away, and then
you slam the head down.
Yeah. So it looks like
there's a story about the first time that Michael Caine saw Heath Ledger in that Joker makeup. They were shooting, Heath came off of an elevator, and Michael Caine hadn't seen him. He was so taken aback that he forgot to deliver the line he was supposed to deliver because that character, it just surprised him so much. What was it like the first time you saw Heath Ledger as the Joker?
Oh man, he was so cool and so fun-loving. He was not like one of those people who were, like those method actors or anything.
Yeah.
He's just having a good time.
So when you weren't filming, he was a normal.
Yeah, we were doing magic tricks, or like little ridiculous things, like trying to snatch quarters off your forearm. Like just really silly stuff like that. And he would ask other actors after doing a take, what did they think?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like just experimenting. He was like really cool, like real down to earth, like so not Hollywood at all.
And what did you think when he asked your character, "Do you want to know how I got these scars?" Like when you heard him deliver that line, did you know that it was something that was going to stick, or do you not find that out until the movie's released and it's out there and people start picking up on it?
No, I have no, I have no idea. I know he was experimenting with different voice modulations, and then there was this one that I think they used in the clip where, he was really still finding that voice.
Yeah.
And it was this chilling register, and I think everybody was like, yeah, that's it.
So were your scenes early, shot early in the production of The Dark Knight?
I can't tell. I don't know. I was in the London. I shot in London.
Yeah.
All my stuff was there. I know they shot in Chicago and China, and so I'm not sure where my segment was.
How much rehearsal goes into a big budget movie like that? Like how many times do you act that scene out in a room somewhere before you actually are even on set?
To my surprise, it was like any other movie. I thought when I was going to meet Christopher Nolan in all the ingenious movies he had done, I thought he was going to be this really eccentric, like artiste type of dude.
Yeah.
Dude, my first scene was with, around the pool table with the guys,
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, you just show up and he's like so easygoing, and he's like, okay, you guys ready to shoot it? I asked him a question. I said, well, do you want to feel like we've been in this room for like an hour, or did we just get here a little while ago? And he's like, I hadn't thought about it. What do you think? I'm like, okay, we could try it both ways. He said, yeah, we can try it both ways. And I said, well, another thing, all the guys, all my men here have English accents. I said, should I have an English accent? You know, I mean, I'm clearly American. And he says, you know, I didn't think about it. What do you think? And I'm like,
so you're working the continuity on The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, you know, he's got every little thing. He's like, yeah, whatever you want to do. I'm like, oh, okay. But it was just easy going. And it was, and you know, a funny thing was, I had shot my, testing for Black Dynamite, my goofy...
Yeah, your blue suit, the pictures you took and the trailer you made?
Yeah, the trailer I made, right? I showed one person, a member of the camera crew, because we were talking about it, so I showed him, he's cracking up, and he shows it to Wally, who's the DP, and who shows it to Christopher Nolan, and we're wasting like 20 minutes, because everybody keeps watching it.
That must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, it was really funny, but I mean, Christopher Nolan, I mean, we're not shooting the movie because everybody's goofing off to the Black Dynamite thing.
Yeah.
It was so not what I thought. I mean, it was like so easygoing. It was like, it didn't feel like I was in a big budgeted movie.
I know some actors say they don't watch their own movies. Do you watch your stuff? Like, you sat through The Dark Knight, I'm assuming, at least once?
Yeah, once.
Yeah. And what did you think when the end credits rolled?
Yeah, I mean, I was saddened because of, you know,
it would have been tough to watch, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was a cool movie. I mean, like I say, I'm not the biggest fan of my stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I played a big angry black guy. That's not hard to do.
Well, it would be for me.
Well, you know, it's just not too hard. You know, I'm a big intimidating dude. I mean, okay, that's all I gotta do is kind of show up. But you know, I mean, it was a lot of fun.
It's different when you're working on a movie and then you're watching the movie. You probably see your scenes and you're thinking about, you know, what was going on behind the camera, and it must be a different experience to watch a film that you've worked on.
Yeah, well, I try to look at it like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I try to look at it and just divorce myself of knowing too much.
Right.
I just want to, you know. Sometimes being part of the industry, it ruins movies for you.
You see behind the curtain.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really try to look at it like a spectator.
Hi, my name is Hamza, and I was wondering, you have 8 black belts at your
yes.
And I was wondering, what was the toughest martial art to actually learn and take time to, you know, try to perfect, and how long did that take you?
Okay, I have 2 martial arts that are very difficult. One is Kyokushin. It's probably the strongest and most combative of all the martial arts. It's very tough. It's not easy to get a black belt in Kyokushin. It's like you could try for 10 years and not get a black belt. It's not like a business. So that's very tough because you have to fight and you have to deal with a lot of pain. It's kind of like special forces of martial arts. Well, but what was tougher for me, since, you know, I'm kind of a natural fighter, what was tougher for me is something called wushu, which is not combative, which is closer to ballet. It's beautiful, and it's easier for guys who are half my size, because you have to like go from the ground to the floor and you flip up in the air and all that stuff. So that was the toughest thing for me, but toughest I think overall would be Kyokushin for most folks, because it's just, you know, insane as far as the brutality.
When you're out in public, or when you've been out in public, people, because they know you're a martial artist, they know you're a fighter. Do people ever try to pick stuff with you?
No.
That's probably smart.
No. I mean, I really thought it would happen. I honestly thought people are going to try to test me all the time. but it surprisingly does not happen. I mean, honestly, you know, I mean, I thought maybe more fighters, like, you know, UFC guys or something like that, you know, but no, I mean, it's unusually peaceful, you know. Yeah, it's really
Eerily peaceful.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a few times, you know, that, you know, I've had to do stuff, I mean, on the street, but that's seldom.
Have you ever, my favorite kick, and I've seen you do this one, I think Black Dynamite does a good one. It's like the back kick, the high, that's not what it looks like when you do it. You know what I'm talking about though? Where your leg goes like up here and then it's like the back kick?
Well, it's a hook kick.
The hook kick.
Yeah, it's
have you ever landed one of those in like a real fight? Because that seems like it would be amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. You know, it comes at a weird angle, so, you know, if you got long legs, then it's really hard for people to...
Yeah, that's why I can't do it. It's my long legs.
Yeah.
Out of the actors that you have worked with, which ones have you enjoyed working with the most? And the second one, which actors would you like to work with, like, in the future?
Well, my favorite actor and one of my favorite people that I've ever worked with is Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen is just one of the most beautiful human beings I've ever met, period, actor or not actor. I remember one time we were shooting Spawn, and we were on the studio, and it was like the second week of filming. He parked his car, and I was parking my car after him. Martin gets out of his car, and he doesn't see that I'm behind him. So we have to walk, like, I would say about like the equivalent of 8 blocks to get to the studio.
Yeah.
And all this time, I'm behind him. Martin is saying hello to the guys parking the cars. He knows all of their names.
Wow.
Right? He's passing people who are dumping garbage and knows their names.
Yeah.
He knew everybody's name on the way to the, you know, to the set, and knew them enough to speak to them, not just in passing.
Right. How you doing? How's the kids? That sort of thing.
Exactly. And it's not like he knew these people earlier than I did. I mean, we both started at the same time. But that's the kind of guy he is. He's a genuine, honest, and just one of like the most amazing people.
It must be nice early in your career to meet someone like that who you can kind of say, hey, you know, I want to be like this guy. I want to treat people like this guy.
Right, yeah, I mean, and it's just, he's the most humble. I mean, even when the director, who was a first-time director, was making mistakes, he would never, like, you know, kind of like, he would never embarrass him.
Yeah.
He would just make suggestions that
help him along. Right.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is just amazing. You know, he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. And as far as working with someone, I mean, there's one guy who I would love to be directed by and would work with. It's probably like, to me, I think he's one of the funniest guys in the world, is Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. Booty Tang.
That one I don't get. That one I don't get. I mean, I understand. It's a weird thing. That,
Yeah.
Even, I mean, but he, you know, the way
Booty Tang, you know what? Black Dynamite, and don't tell Louis C.K. this if he's here next year. Booty Tang's here. Black Dynamite is up here, man.
Well, I don't connect the two.
No.
I don't see where the connection is, but I mean, but like Louis C.K., like the way he directs his show.
His show, Louis.
It's my favorite show on the air.
What are you working on? What's next when you get back home? What's work look like for the next 6 months?
Well, I got 2 more movies to do before the end of the year. I just completed a movie called Vigilante Diaries. I completed it like, I think that was Wednesday. It was my last day.
Yeah.
I've got Never Back Down 3 coming out with Josh Barnett. And, you know, if anybody knows, you know, watches UFC, and Josh Barnett's like, you know, he was former UFC, and, you know, Strikeforce champion, and he just won last night. Yep, I just watched him at 1 o'clock in the morning, his fight last night. He beat Big Country last night. So, I mean, he's the co-star in the movie with me, along with Rampage Jackson's in the movie, Eastside Morales, and Tony Jaa.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cast.
Yeah.
And are you starting a movie on Tuesday? Like, are you starting a movie next week? Is that what I heard?
Well, yeah, I'm starting a movie in a couple of weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that one? Do we know what that one is?
Well, you know, there's a movie that, weirdly enough, might be starring another martial arts icon. That we've done a couple of movies together, but now we may be doing a fourth movie together. And this guy named Steven Seagal.
Heard of him? You guys hear Steven Seagal?
Yeah. We were just both in a movie called Asian Connection, but there's another movie that looks like it's fast on the horizon that we may be in, that we're not martial artists in the movie.
Really?
It's an action movie, but we're basically cops.
Well, Michael Jai White, it's been a pleasure having you here at Comic-Con. Michael is going to be signing some pictures, taking some pictures. If you want to see him, he'll be right over here shortly. You got to promise me, do more comedy, man, because I love the fighting stuff. You are a funny, funny dude.
Thank you.
Black Dynamite is awesome. Black Dynamite 2 in the works. You heard it here first. Make some noise for Michael Jai White, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.